Good morning, party people. How are you guys doing this morning? What a fantastic Monday morning. I hope everybody has their coffee. You guys are in for a treat today. So let's get started real quick here. Let's see who's in our chat. We got Simon, it's a slot machine. Ben Gallet, Slot Sister, thank you for joining us from the gallery today. I know next week you'll be in live with us. Hold on, what is this? Let's see here. Ben Gallet, that's funny. So anyway, I just wanted to welcome everybody in. Let me put a little disclaimer there before we get started. We're waiting on our featured guest today. The disclaimer is everything that we do on this channel is for fun. We're not meant to, offend anybody. If you feel that you're going to get offended, just tune out or go to a different channel because sometimes this gets pretty offensive. Anyway, that being said, today's featured guest is NES. Some of you guys know him as New England Scratcher. Some of you guys know him as New England Slots. He has two channels, and both of them are doing fantastic. He just started the slot channel, and that's about to grow to 1,000. He's going to be monetized with that in a matter of minutes. However, his Scratcher channel has been doing fantastic, and we'll get into that in a little bit. We're waiting for him to join us right now. How's everybody doing this morning? Let's see who's in here. We have 4 people in here right now, waiting for NES to join us. Let's see if he's in our gallery yet. No, not yet. So where is everybody from? Is this mostly East Coast people? Slot Sisters offended. There's New England Scratcher. He's getting ready to jump in here. Let's see. Everybody have their coffee. Yeah, Simon, I'm doing good. Sorry I didn't get a chance to reach out to you yesterday. Yeah, that's true, Slot Sister. I know you'll be offending 98% of the people in here most of the time anyway. Hey, there's Chumba. You want to pop in for an outfit check, girl? Kansas City. What's it like in Kansas City right now, Ben? Robert, aka the accountant. Hello, bud. How you doing? NES got you up early this morning? There you go, Ben. She doesn't really need to put them on though. Robert, does NES go anywhere without you? Nice. Hey, where'd Chumba go? Oh, there she goes. Rain check. Uh-oh. She must have rolled out of bed a little bit late. Got to work late today. NES did go to the casino last night, so maybe he's trying to pull himself together real quick before he jumps on here. Michelle, you live close to NES. Do you see him often, or is it just every once in a while? Lucky Dog Unleashed. Good morning, sirs. How are you guys doing this morning? Here we go. There we
What's
go.
up,
Did we get him
everybody?
in here? NES, good morning, sir.
Can you hear me?
I could hear you. I can't see you.
You can't see me.
There we go. There we
Okay.
go.
Perfect.
Now you're in here.
I'm gonna grab
What's up, bro?
What's up? How are you this morning?
Pretty good. How are you? So,
Went to bed about 2 hours ago.
I figured as much. I heard you saying you were going to the casino last night, and I figured you'd probably be up late. Anyway, before we get started on that, I got to show a little something from last night. So let me just switch this around real quick here. And
What's up, everybody?
let's see if I could get this up any louder.
By the way, Lucky. I think I saw Lucky Dog in here.
Yes, I did.
Oh my gosh.
That was awesome, bro. You
I chuckled when I actually watched it again myself. I got a little excited on that one.
Yeah, you hit that maxed out major right there.
Yeah, that was pretty epic. I've never hit a claimer on a New Hampshire ticket, and honestly, I have a hard time selling a group on wanting to buy into New Hampshire tickets.
Okay.
So I was actually in that group myself because I couldn't get enough people that actually wanted to buy. I couldn't get 5 people that wanted to buy into New Hampshire.
Really?
Yeah, I had 4 others, but only so.
Well, that was absolutely awesome. That was absolutely awesome to hear you do that. Now, I have a couple of questions regarding last week's live, but let's get into like the meat and potatoes. When I first put your link up here, I had people asking me, they need to know, they need to find out, and they want to know, are you an island boy?
A what?
An island boy.
An island boy? No.
Yeah, no?
No.
You have you heard the TikTok? Because I think I heard you on your channel singing that song, the Island Boys, the guys with the messed up hair, tattoos on the face. No,
No.
oh,
No,
I'll have
wrong.
to look.
Yeah, no. I'm not an island boy. No. Mm-mm.
No.
No.
Okay. Okay. So 2 channels.
Yeah.
You have.
I have actually more than 2, but yeah.
Well, how active are the other ones?
One of the other ones is pretty active. It's a fire channel. I go and record structure fires.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I own everything New England. I own New England Scratcher, New England Slots, New England Fire videos. So I actually just had a video on that channel go crazy on the news up here. It was a fire where it was somebody ended up unfortunately dying in it, but a firefighter was also injured. So
Oh, wow.
yeah, it actually was front page of the news again this morning, the video. So
Oh, wow.
yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, so I try to do 3 channels.
And what do you do when you're not doing YouTube?
So I own a bathtub resurfacing company. I
Okay.
I resurface bathtubs and tile and different things. Fix people's bathtubs, make them look good.
Okay.
So, um, with
Okay.
the
So
pandemic and everything, I wasn't doing a lot of that, so I had a lot of time for YouTube. Now that I'm back to doing everything, it's just like crazy, crazy.
awesome. Awesome. Okay. So we have a few people that want to know single, married, kids, no kids, divorced. What's going on with NES?
What's going on with NES? I am single. I was not single when I started New England Scratcher, but for the last year now, I'm single. And I have one son. He's 12 years old,
Okay.
and he's awesome. He's my life. So he's still at that point, even though he's 12, he's still at that point that he loves hanging out with daddy and doing things, and um, maybe telling
12.
me, maybe telling me to shut up a little more, but
Hey,
in fun.
yeah, that's only going to get worse as he gets older.
Um, that it's all in fun. Whenever he says it, he's
Yeah.
smiling. So,
So what
but
does he think? What does he think of you having a YouTube channel? Because I know my son, when he was around from I guess 10 to like 16, he was stuck on Minecraft, and he had his own channel on YouTube and everything else, and doing that. So what does he think of you running channels on YouTube?
so when I first started, he was like, "You're not gonna make it." He's like, "There's nobody want to watch you. You know, nobody wants to watch you. Like, what are you doing on YouTube?" And now, honestly, like he's shocked at how many people are in my lives and how many um, subscribers I have, and you know, it definitely um, he's definitely shocked that like all these people. It was funny a couple weeks ago. He's like, these people. He's like, they say they love your accent, they love your voice, and he's like, you don't even know how to talk, and you sound awful. He's like my biggest critic. He's hilarious. He's just fun. He's um, to me, to him, I'm daddy.
Yeah.
He just thinks it's hilarious that I go to Vegas and every month now, and I'll go meet up with people at Encore, and dozens and dozens of people come out to hang out with NES for the day, and he just thinks it's crazy. Like occasionally, like I'll be with him like at a store or something, and somebody will be like, "What up, NES?" And he's like, "How do people know you?"
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So speaking of Vegas and other
By the way, good
channels, and
morning, everybody. I didn't say hi to everybody. Good morning,
uh,
everybody. I
go
just
ahead,
got you
take your
guys up
time.
on the laptop. So good morning. Oh my gosh. Yes, the last visit was NG Party. Yes.
Yeah, NG's party, and before that, it was
Mm-hmm.
G2E.
Mm-hmm.
That's where we first met
Yep.
in person, and for me, that's one of the best things about doing YouTube is meeting people like yourselves and finding out a little bit more about them instead of just seeing them on camera. And that's why I do this series, this Monday morning series, so that your peers and everybody else could dive into more about who NES is and
Mm-hmm.
who these other channels are. So it's more than just, hey, that's NES, but it's more like, hey, I know him, I know he has one kid, and so on and so forth.
Yep.
And speaking of that, one kid, and I know you're single. What's a girl for NES? What is NES like in a girl? What are you looking for if you're looking, even if you're not? What's
um. Hmm. Loaded question. Uh, Number one, the person has to be real. Like I can't stand fake people. So, um, whatever you are now, like portraying yourself to be, is what I want you to be. Like once we're together, like or whatever. I just, I, you know, putting on a show for something isn't. doesn't work for me. Like I wanna see like, somebody that's real and um obviously somebody that's outgoing, enough that, I don't want to sit around the house all day. I'm a very outgoing person. So, and I'm not even going to sit here and talk bad about my last relationship, whatever, but that was like one of the biggest things is that I wanted to go out and she wanted to be a homebody. So, like
Okay.
that was a huge, I'm a very social person and um so yeah, the person has to be very social. So that's
Okay. So touching on that point, when you're first seeing somebody, or you're first going out with somebody, of course they're trying to put on their best, you know.
it, it's different to
They're
put it's different to try to put on your best and then but I try not to do that. Like I try to be real. I try like for me, because I'm not a perfect person at all. And I think that that's kind of what's, you're with somebody for like a year and then you start seeing how they really are. And it's like, ah, like, like I wish I
yeah,
knew this a year ago. But like, there's certain things you can change in life and certain things that you can't. You can only mask for so long. But,
exactly.
you know,
Exactly. So Warren's asking, the real question is, do you have time for a girlfriend?
that's the key, it's like right now my lifestyle is a single lifestyle. Doing the 3 channels on YouTube, going to Vegas once a month. If I was, if I was with somebody, unless they were really, really understanding and of the whole situation, um, it would be difficult unless it would have to be like the perfect situation, because I certainly don't want to give up. Hey, go Sox! I certainly don't want to give up. What I'm building here. Um,
Exactly.
because I'm gonna get in a relationship where the person doesn't want me going to Vegas once a month. They don't want me. They want me home. They want me this. They want me that. So that's the
Cuddling on the couch watching Netflix.
you know.
You don't
I
seem
know
like that
some.
kind of guy.
No, no. And honestly, like some people have to be with somebody. Like they just feel like, oh, I haven't been with somebody in a year. I got to go find somebody. And I've never been like that in my life. Like I've never. Um, I'm I'm very. I'm happy to be with somebody, but I'm also happy single. So I make my own fun. Go
Very
Saints.
cool.
That's awesome.
Okay, so what is so we found out a little bit about dates. What are red flags for you?
Hmm.
We know that you want them to be real or whatnot, but what are
A
some red
red
flags
flag.
that you just turn around and run right away?
No, I usually find those later. One second, I just realized I'm on it. That would drive me crazy. It looked like I was on an angle. Red flags. I don't know of anything that's like just jumps out at me as like a red flag. Like, I certainly, um, I don't know. I mean, I look for things like, I don't, I somebody like I don't mind like drinking and stuff like that. I don't want somebody that drinks every single night, like, has to drink every night. Has to um constantly either high or drunk
Okay.
or stuff like that. I mean, that's the um
Okay.
I don't
So
know.
could you date a girl that drinks more than you?
I, I can honestly say I never have. However,
Well, I've seen you drink, and I can't picture somebody drinking.
honestly, honestly, you've seen me drink, but you've seen me drink at my worst, my absolute worst.
Yeah.
I don't really, I'm not that big of a drinker.
Okay.
I'm more like I'll have a couple beers with dinner. I can count on one hand in the last 5 years how many times I've been drunk. And two of those times have been out in Vegas. So, um,
Hey, what happens in Vegas doesn't always
oh
stay
my gosh, lucky bug.
there.
Yeah. No, I'm not saying you can't drink every night. It's about being like, sauced every night. I just don't find that like that's, and I'm not even saying anything bad against people that, drink or whatever every night. Um, it's just that doesn't work for me.
Okay.
So
So, but when you do drink, what is your go-to drink? Whiskey, beer, what?
usually I'm either drinking beer or I'm drinking vodka cranberries. And if I'm
Okay.
drinking either, it's very much in moderation. I'll have a couple beers in the summertime. A 12 pack usually lasts me a couple weeks.
Okay, that
Yeah,
lasts me a
yeah,
couple hours, but
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Um, like when I'm in Vegas, it's a little different, because
Yeah.
I'm sitting at a machine. They're walking around pouring it down your throat. Um, but at home, I'm not like that. And I don't actually even love being like I like to be in control. So
Yeah.
of my body, of my head and everything. So I usually regret being drunk the next morning.
Don't we all? Don't we all? So, I heard on your channel you mentioned something, I think of a New England Scratcher, that you take a break like for 3 months or 6 months or something like that, where you don't purchase any lotto tickets.
Hmm.
Can you explain that to everybody? And also, are you going to do that with your New England Slots channel as well?
No, I will not do that with New England Slots. So just because I'm building New England Slots right now, um,
Okay.
so what I've done is from starting in 2018, I realized that I was spending quite a bit on lottery tickets a day. And just to keep myself accountable and just to show myself that um, I still had the control over whether I wanted to buy a lottery ticket or not, and whether or not it was, that I actually had an addiction to lottery tickets. I decided from January 1st to the end of June, which I actually ended up going to the end of July, that I wouldn't buy any lottery tickets.
Okay.
And I stuck to it. I didn't buy one lottery ticket for those 7 months from January to the end of July. And the only reason why I did it to the end of July is I miscounted the months. I was thinking the end of when I got to the end of like into July, I'm like, well, I'm gonna do it for the 6 months. So, um, and then when I had the channel back in 2020, I had just started my personal 6 months on January 1st, and I started the channel on January 7th or January 8th, one or the other. And so even when I was scratching for the channel, none of it was my money. And I would never buy myself a ticket when I went to the store. So
Okay.
every even year I do this. And it's literally just to keep myself in check of, can I go into a store and not, be tempted to buy a ticket? And I will do that again here in 2022. However, it's really not even it's not big anymore. Now that I scratch $3,000 a week on YouTube, I buy myself no tickets. I mean,
Wow.
there is never a time that I drive by a store and say I want to go in there and buy a lottery ticket ever anymore. Like it's it's still fun to scratch on the channel, but
Okay.
the one thing that I have lost is my desire to scratch. Like, you know, when I'm out working and stuff and I'm driving home, I never stop and get a lottery ticket anymore, ever. If I go into a store to get a soda, I don't buy a lottery ticket. So,
Okay. So Warren wants to know, has your payback been better, slots versus scratchers?
Warren, as of right now, slots are way up. I'm riding a very, very lucky streak right now when it comes to slots. Um, the payback for scratchers, thanks to Robert the accountant, is about 70%. We get about 70% back on the scratchers, between
Oh, wow.
69 and 70%. So since January of 2020 on the channel, I've scratched $300,000 in lottery tickets, and we've
Wow.
gotten back 70% of that. So I don't know. It's so hard to keep track of the slots. Personally, though, I'm up. I don't know about all the group polls and stuff because a lot of the times, I talk to the group and we want to reinvest, and then sometimes that goes well and sometimes it doesn't. So technically, hey, we did really, really well and we got back, $2,000 out of $1,000, but then we reinvested it and went for broke. So
Yeah. I did see I think it was a Dragon Cash major that you hit. That was nice.
yeah,
That was beautiful.
I did put a couple hundred into that machine last night. I had never played that machine before,
Oh,
and
really?
I can tell you that last night I put a couple hundred in, no bonuses, no bonuses. But I was still up last night. I hit another major last night.
Oh, did you?
I did on not at Encore. I hit it at Plain Ridge Park Casino before I went to Encore last night. Sat at I played Ultimate Firelink. I threw $100 into Ultimate Firelink and hit a bonus on that and cashed out at 400. Went over, cashed out that ticket completely, and then went over to Buffalo Link, and I put
That's a
in.
tough one.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. I'll tell you. So I've had more hand pays on Buffalo Link than any other game.
Wow.
So I went over there and I put in $100, and then I activated my $65 free play. And I was still in the free play, and I hit the hold and spin feature bonus for I don't know, like 10, like 8 of them dropped the first time. Of course, they had just told me I couldn't film, so I have a bootleg film of that, like holding it on my chest. But
Yeah.
the major dropped right away, and that major was like 1275 or something like that.
Okay.
And then everything all wrapped up in it. The hand pay was for 1540. So
Wow.
on a
Nice.
$5 bet, so not bad.
That's awesome.
On that game, I'm loving the 5-cent $5 bet. The 5-cent denom $5 bet.
I got to give that game a little bit of more of a chance because every time I've tried it, it irks me that you have to get 8 orbs in order to start the bonus on that one, and it's
But if
just
you look at it, I thought the same thing at first. But if you look at it, you have more play area. What is it, 4x5 instead of 3x5 or something like
yeah,
that? 3x6.
true,
It might even be by 6. It might be 5. Is it 4x6?
true,
I'm trying
yeah,
to think of what it is. You have a bigger play area though, so yeah, you need more orbs, but you have a bigger play area to do it in. So
yeah, definitely. Can you tell everybody what you went to school for? I heard this. Your
yeah,
little fun fact.
yeah. A little fun fact. So back in 2003, I think it was, I went to school to become a Pentecostal pastor. I realized about a year into it that it wasn't for me. And yeah, I actually have a lot of pastors in my family. My brother, my oldest brother's a pastor. My youngest brother's a missionary to Bolivia with his wife
Oh,
and
nice.
kids. My mother's actually a certified reverend. She has all her credentials, and my grandfather was a pastor. So we grew up in a very Pentecostal home, and I still have a very deep belief in God, and but I definitely I didn't go that route.
Exactly. Well,
Yeah,
maybe
so
that's why you get your luck.
maybe. I'm not sure that God cares if I win on a scratch ticket or a slot machine, though.
Uh,
I don't,
I'm
I don't
pretty,
typically, I don't typically say a prayer for that.
I'm
I
pretty sure he
should.
doesn't.
I maybe I could, but the
Yeah. Yeah. So yesterday, Slot Sister brings this up, but yesterday we heard on your channel that you were filing just before you hit the claimer.
mm,
You were complaining about somebody. You're filing a police report or
yeah,
something. What was
yeah.
that about? If you
It's all
care to elaborate
it,
on that.
it's all about a troll. There's a troll that's been heavily bothering me in the channel since last February, and
Okay.
I've spent thousands of hours. No, actually, I've spent since last Christmas, right around Christmas time last year.
Okay.
Um, but it's more than just trolling. It's to the point of criminal harassment, and like he would come into chats using my son's name and stuff like that. So
Oh, that,
yeah.
yeah. That,
So I gave him the opportunity to, after finding out who it was, I gave him the opportunity to stop and um, move on. And he has some circumstances in his life that um, I'm not going to elaborate on because, but he has some sort of circumstances in his life that have been unfortunate. And like one thing I know that this kid grew up, kind of poor, and I even offered. I said, "Hey, you stop all this, and both myself and this, the community behind me will make a significant donation to like a food pantry in your area.
uh-huh.
Try to turn it into something good." And he just couldn't help himself. Like he's jealous in so many different ways. Like he just doesn't but he can't help himself.
What?
You know that, but
Yeah.
that's the whole thing. He's just it there's a difference between like a troll on YouTube and then somebody that like personally attacks on YouTube.
Yeah.
I mean, he went into he has over 300 accounts that he was going
Wow.
into all these other channels. He went in under my name, my picture, and he would go into like channels and like say that I as me, and use homophobic slurs or um,
Okay.
yeah. I mean, it's to the point where like other channels daily, dozens of channels daily, were emailing me like, "What are you doing? Like, why are you saying all this stuff?" And
Oh, that sucks.
it wasn't just the scratcher community. It wasn't just the slots community. I mean, I had people dumpster diving community emailing me saying, "Hey, what are you doing? Coming into our live and disrupting our live."
Wow.
But this is actually a problem with YouTube. The biggest problem that I have with YouTube is that they allow people to have the same name. That it should be just like any other platform where you have a unique user ID, and it's stupid. It's just like it's stupid that somebody can just type in New England Scratcher and become New England Scratcher.
Wow.
Um, there's no difference, and the only way to tell is like if when they leave comments, you can click on their thing and see that they have no subscribers. Um,
Yeah.
and that's what I would tell all these other channels that he was leaving these comments on. I'm like, you know what? Click on the profile and you'll see it's not me. Um, and it was just. But
Yeah.
I mean, he would like my grandmother died this summer, and he came in as NES's grandma, saying that
Oh.
that I didn't give two shits about her, and it's just stupid. Like when my pet died this summer, he came in as my pet, like Skittles, like honestly, he's just he's a
Yeah. No,
miserable person and doesn't know how to. And he's probably watching this right now because he has nothing better to do. And if he is watching, I have um, started the legal proceedings through the police
Okay.
because that's the only way to go at this point. Because I tried to let him just disappear. You know that I figured after. I mean, he knows I know who he is. He knows it.
Yeah.
And it took me a lot of, and I have a lot backing that. So um, on who it is. So.
Wow.
But anyway,
So
that's
I
what
mean,
that's all about, and that
y-
it just sucks because it ruins part of YouTube. But at the same time, it's not. He thought that he was gonna get me to delete my channels,
yeah,
um, you know, and that's just not happening. Like, nope,
exactly.
nope,
Exactly. But that, there's always going to be haters and,
yep,
people like that, bitter and small. But on another note, once you have trolls, you're starting to make it big because people, you're going to have the
yeah,
good and the bad. But anyway, enough said about that. I mean, it's just that's sad that there's people out there that'll definitely do that.
yeah.
So,
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, but and then when I'm in my lives and stuff, I don't often talk about the troll. That was something that I right away like he would go in and he would you know he would use his 300 account so that I would have 55 thumbs down before my live started, like just stupid stuff, like and then
wow.
all that did was get people in the chat saying, "Hey, why do you have so many thumbs down?" And it's like, you know what, guys, I don't want to. We're not going to talk about that because we're not going to bring to light, this person's stupidity.
Exactly.
That's what he's looking for. So
Trying to get that recognition or something. Okay, so let's talk about crushes. So
crushes.
NES channels out there, any either crush or a channel that you absolutely must meet. I know you hang with NG, Mr. Mike, and everybody else at the birthday party, but are there any channels or girl channels or girls out there that you're crushing on that you'd like to meet?
Just as like friends and stuff. I mean, I don't look at anybody and be like, oh my gosh, um, no. I would want that to be, more of a local. I mean, I'm not into long distance relationships and stuff, so I no. I mean, there's channels definitely that I want to meet and hang out with, but I wouldn't
Like
say I'm crushing on anyone.
give us a couple of examples of some channels you'd like to meet.
Oh, there's tons. I mean, I pretty much want to meet everybody that's on like YouTube and stuff. Like, and I've met so many of them.
Okay.
It's just been neat. Like, but like, um, there's nobody that I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to go. I have to fly. And meet this person. Like, I want to meet people and I want to hang out with people, but no, this. You know,
Hey, Chris and Lou.
what's up? Yeah,
Okay,
Chris and
so
Lil. That's who I want to meet. I want to fly down and meet Chris and Lil.
well, here's the same thing. You just said it. You're not really looking forward to flying
Brother
out and
man ain't
meeting
spilling no
channels.
tea. Brother man's not
I
ain't
right?
spilling no tea. Yeah.
He's trying to keep it on the DL. It's okay. We'll get something out of him right now. No, anyway,
Yeah.
so it's like you said, you're not going to go out of your way to fly and meet channels, but I think I'm sort of the opposite way. Like when we hung out in Vegas, now I want to go meet you over there in New England, see what your area is about. I met Bad Boy Slots. He invited me up to Sacramento, so I'm gonna go up there and hang with him and head out to Oklahoma. If I could put these trips together, I'm gonna be doing that quite a bit because I enjoy meeting these channels and getting to know them, you know, in their area in their hometown. So I'm sort of gonna make something of it by traveling to all of these places and meeting
So
them that way.
so I'm definitely like one thing that I have in mind is like going out to California to like Yamaba, because I just see on in the slots community that there are so many channels
Yeah.
that frequent that place that it's definitely on my like list to do is to
Okay.
go out there, um, tell everybody, hey, I'm coming out. If you guys want to come down, let's chill, let's meet, let's go live and have fun. So like that's one thing. I do plan on with this channel. I plan on going all over the country.
There you go.
I
I think we lost your sound. Is that your sound that's gone or mine? Can't hear you.
just went out.
Oh, there you go. There
There
you
we
go.
go. Like the whole thing just went frozen. Um, so since I started the slots channel, I've been to Vegas 3 times. I've been to Biloxi, Mississippi, Tampa, and to Foxwoods in Connecticut, Encore, Boston. So I actually have a really I have an awesome person that is one of my channel subscribers who works for an airline, and he gives me buddy passes.
That's awesome.
So yeah, so like I can call him up and say, hey, I want to go to Tampa. Now, when I fly with Robert out to Vegas, typically because I don't want him getting stranded,
Yeah.
we're ticketed. We're ticketed. But anywhere else I fly for the channel or whatever, typically is on a buddy pass. So I'm flying
Nice.
standby, but that actually works out really well. Like when I went to Vegas back in June, I changed my plans like 5 times because we ended up getting the penthouse suite at Sahara for a couple nights.
Oh, sweet.
So I literally just called up and said, "Hey, I need to change I need to change the plane," and there was with a buddy pass, it was just changing, like no fees, no nothing. So that's awesome, like that part of it.
Okay, that's cool. So when you travel, when you're going to travel with your channel, is Robert going right along with you? He seems like a fun
Right.
companion.
Honestly, it's really becoming that. Robert is just so much fun to travel with. He's awesome to have in the casino with me. We really get along great in the casino. Like we'll like last night, for instance. We like to play a lot of the same games. We don't like to play all of the same games. So a lot of the times we're sitting, machine, next to each other or whatever. But at the same time, if I want to go play a machine, I just walk over, say, hey, I'll call me when, if you're looking for me. So it's not like we have to be like right together the whole time. But at the same time, like when I'm live, like he's awesome. Like he's there with the clicker, he's keeping track of all the how many spins I've done. He's keeping track of the tripod pretty much because like I we learned really quickly that I couldn't keep track with the tripod because I just kept losing it everywhere. So, but he's awesome to have. Um, uh, yeah, so yeah, that like Patrick Star there, that's the troll. So,
I figured as
so
much.
yeah, so I figured he would be in just so, but that's okay. Like those are the types of things that um Michael, I'm just gonna call you by your real name, Michael. And just so you know that you might think that this is like all fun and games, but there's a criminal level to it, and you will be held accountable. I have discussed this with the police, and I'm sitting down with them this week for an in-depth um, giving them screenshots and everything else, and uh, you're going to be shocked at charges. So just so you know, you think that You think you're cute. So
NES, I heard you mention Skittles. I'm not familiar with what your
yep.
pet was. Cat, dog,
So no, bearded dragon.
bearded
So like
dragon.
on the channel coin, yeah, the channel coin. That's actually a bust of Skittles, and yep. So that's
There we go.
Skittles there, and
There we go.
that is
Beautiful coin. If you guys haven't done so, please go to NES's channel and pick one up. I think they're like $20, right, NES?
yep. $20 including shipping to anywhere in the country. And but no, Skittles. So she was 4 years old, and she ended up getting pneumonia this summer, double pneumonia. I brought her to the vet,
Oh, wow.
and they had her for a couple days. And they called me up and said that she was, reacting well to antibiotics, and that she was on the mend, that she would be fine. That I could come pick her up the next day at in the afternoon. I went down, picked her up. The paid like $1,300 for, which is just sticker shock for a bearded dragon.
Wow.
It was like, whoa.
Yeah.
And I brought her home with all this medicine. I was gonna have to do injections every other day for 6 weeks for antibiotics, because there's so little that they can't get it all at once. And I brought her home, went to put the I had her in my hand. I put the medicine in the freezer where it had to go, turned around, and she just, not to be gross, but threw up everywhere. I called
Oh,
back
wow.
down to the hospital. They told me that the doctor was seeing a patient, and within a half an hour, she was gone.
Oh, wow.
So it
Sorry
was
to
just
hear that,
awful.
bro.
It was just after picking
No.
her up. Just after picking her up and got her home, and then boom.
Yeah,
So
no,
I was actually just about to go live on a Wednesday. It was a Wednesday night. I was about to go live on New England Scratcher, and I was like, well, that's not happening. I was going live with an update that Skittles was home, and like I already had posted that, hey, things are turning around. I just picked her up. She looks great. She did too.
yeah.
She wasn't 100%, but she looked so much better than she did 2 days prior. So,
Wow. Okay. So
yeah.
bearded dragon, do you like cats, dogs, or is it just
No, so I actually would never have had a lizard. My ex-girlfriend, she had a dog that for many years, and he ended up dying of cancer. And so she told my son that, well, you can get a lizard, and knowing that he wouldn't want one, and he said, I want a bearded dragon. And so I'm like, no, you don't want a bearded dragon. And he was adamant that he wanted a bearded dragon. So we picked one up, and she immediately claimed me. She just, I'd put her on the couch, she'd run up on my shoulder. She was cool. They're very much like dogs. Like, honestly, they just she wanted to be here in my neck with for love and affection all the time. That's where
nice?
that was her spot. And, but yeah, no, I would never in my life have had a reptile like that, ever. I love dogs. I like cats. I'm kind of allergic to cats though, so, but some dogs
Oh,
too.
okay. Okay. So one casino that you haven't been to that you absolutely have to get to before. Hey, there's Slot MC 365. Good morning, bro. One casino that you absolutely have to get to. Your top of the list. I know Vegas, you've been to plenty of them, but are there any other casinos out there that you absolutely bucket list have to get there before you die?
Nothing like have to. Like, I want to get to Yamava. I want to get to Oklahoma. I want to get, there's definitely places that I want to get to. I want to get to Kansas City with Granny and Dice, and different. I want to go different places, but nothing
Okay.
like wow. So a little fun fact about me is, I was a blackjack player. I didn't ever play slots. I hated slots. I didn't start liking slots until I started watching slots on YouTube a year ago. About a year and a half ago, I started like getting into like the slot side of it. And before that, and part of the reason why I actually really like it now is that before I was playing all wrong. I hated slots because I would walk up to a machine, I would throw $20 in it, I would lose my $20, and it always left a sour taste in my mouth. And then I realized that, like watching all of it, that you have to invest more into it. Like, you can't just throw $20 into this machine, $20 into this machine, $20 into this machine, and expect to win. You're gonna lose.
Exactly.
Just like I had for years. So, I throw now a minimum of $100 into a machine, and I see the money coming back, and I see bonuses, and it's fun. But if I go in and I just throw $20 into a machine, and that's what I was doing before. So since then, I don't play blackjack anymore when I go to the casino. I just fell in love with the slots because I'm seeing now a little bit different way of playing, and it's fun for me now. But
Yeah, definitely.
I really didn't play slots before June when I was there for Hallapalooza. I really didn't play slots. Like, that was my breakthrough with slots. Before that, I can tell you, I mean, I don't think I've spent $500 on slots before that in my whole entire life. Like,
Nice.
and I would go to the casinos often because I loved blackjack.
Okay, so
somewhere.
on that note, so what were the first channels that you started watching that sort of pulled you towards the slots? I know NG is one of them because you've been following him since the beginning, but name a couple of channels you started watching in the beginning.
So NG and the Big Jackpot, but some of the smaller channels, Naomi was probably one of the first, and then Lucky Dog Slots.
Okay.
They were definitely, I would say Lucky Dog Slots and Naomi were my first two non-huge channels that were like so much fun to watch. And they're completely different than an NG and a Raja because they're playing the way that we would play. We're not putting in $250 spins. They're putting realistic what a normal person would play. The others are fun to watch because I can't afford to spend $250 a spin. I just can't. And
Right.
I mean, I could for some, but I can't. I'm not going to put $50,000 into a machine either to play $250 a spin. So those were fun to watch. But those two channels really, I think, were the first two that I watched, and then I watched Lori Luckbox. That was another one that spawned off of that, and so I would, I rang all those bells, and then I would be in the scratcher community, and then I would jump over there. I would say now that other than me going live and watching, I still watch a lot of scratcher videos, but I would say 75% of everything I watch now is slot channels.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Very good. So some of the channels that I started watching, I guess the first one I started watching was Slotty by Nature. And then NG, because I used to always go to the casino and I would see NG there every morning, way before I started filming. I think before he was really big, when he started out at Harris SoCal, he would be down there every morning, like 5 a.m., and he would be filming in the morning. So I would see him, periodically down there. But realistically, I was watching Slotty by Nature, Slot Shimmers, some of the smaller channels
Yep.
at that time. This was like 3 years ago, and that's sort of what pushed me to get into it. If they could do it, I know I could do it. So that's
Hmm.
sort of where I started from. Very
Yeah, I
cool.
mean, the
So
way that I look at it is if Lucky Dog could do it, anybody. No, I'm just kidding. I love Lucky Dog.
so you said blackjack. Have you been? I know you've been to Vegas quite a bit. Have you been down to the El Cortez?
I have. I've been down El Cortez for Granny Fest.
Okay,
Um,
yeah.
that's really. Um, I don't really have any desire right now to try to do any of the like blackjack on my channel or
Okay.
anything right now. So
That's where I was going with that, to see if you
yeah,
have any intention of later on probably doing some blackjack on camera.
maybe. I mean, honestly, since I've been going back to like the casinos, like post, like after the pandemic and everything, um, I, I've only played blackjack a couple times, and that was at Sahara when I was there in June. Um, but other than that, the only thing like last night when I was leaving Encore in Boston, I threw 100 on black on roulette. But other than that, I don't do any. I haven't been playing any table games. Usually, when I leave a casino, um, I like to, if I still have a bankroll, I like to go throw 100 on black on whichever roulette wheel I am walking by, and
Okay.
I do well on that. So yeah, just
Okay.
50 I'm either leaving with an extra 100 or I'm leaving minus another 100.
Okay, so we're getting close to the hour, but I want NES to take this time right now. Tell everybody out there something that we don't know about you. I know we've talked about you going to school to be a Pentecostal preacher and everything else, but give a little bit of tea on NES that nobody else knows.
I don't know. I mean, so I think a lot of people know because I've been live for so many hours that most of my people know. I'm pretty, you know, forthcoming with about me. I mean, like on New England Scratcher, especially, just because I'm filling so much time. But I've like tea. There's not really like I've put out I put my whole life out there.
What
But
what is there one embarrassing moment that you suffered
mm,
recently? Embarrassing. It could be funny, it could be whatever, but
well, an embarrassing moment was Robert having to bring me back to Sahara after Cosmo and G's birthday party, maybe. Yeah, I got introduced to 1942 that night. I had never drank
oh,
1942, and the bartender was finishing off the bottle, and um, yep, yep. That night, I remember the night now, and I remember the night later, but when I woke up in the morning, I reached into my pocket and there was no money. And I'm like, oh, I knew I brought money. And I knew that I had a $400 ticket to cash out at the very end. And so I'm like rifling through everything and I'm like, where is this ticket? Where is the money? And I called Robert and I said, I think I lost some money last night. And he's like, no, you gave it to me, when we were
oh,
leaving the
smart man.
casino, because he he had put some money in for one of the slot pulls that we were doing, and I told him, "Hey, just take this 400 toward that." And I had completely forgot, and then I remembered the whole conversation. But yeah, no, that's not me. Like I hate that. Like I hated the next day, like not being in like control of my thought process and everything. So
Yeah, that I was right across the street. We walked out of the casino together, you, me, and Robert. I walked
yep.
straight
Mm-hmm.
across to Paris, and I don't know how I stumbled across the street to get there, but that was a long night of drinking, and I don't know what happened to my phone. I
It was a
had
fun
left my
night.
phone. Yeah, I left my phone somewhere. I couldn't find it till the next
Did you ever
morning.
find it?
Yeah, I got it
Oh,
back.
okay.
I got it back. It was
And then the next night was just crazy getting robbed at Resorts World. That was just stupid. Like that was
what do
the
you
next
mean?
night after
Oh,
that.
you got robbed at Resorts World.
1 second. Yeah. Oh yeah. No, robbed. Like, so I had a $2,200 Tito that we had put all the money into the machine to make the Tito for $2,200 for a group hole.
Okay.
And Robert and I were sitting there. I was going live in a minute, and a guy ran by and swiped it.
Are you shitting
And
me?
I no. So he ran by, reached right in between Robert and I, swiped the ticket, and ran. I never run so fast in my life. I chased him down, and I'm yelling, "Security, security!" going down the hallway at Resorts World. And somebody up ahead realized what was going on, and they tripped up the guy, and then they grabbed him by the back. So they tripped him, and he was like all disheveled, and they grabbed his backpack, which just made him like flail. And security was able to grab him and get him up against the wall. And they immediately put him in handcuffs. There was like 15 security guards there right away. They were
Wow.
having like a security meeting at the end of the hallway. And
So he ran right into it.
he ran into it, but he's facing several felonies, and it took 3 hours for
Wow.
all the the police to come and take the reports and everything, and to get the money back. They actually handed me the crumpled up Tito back.
Oh
And it
wow.
still worked. I couldn't believe it. I have a picture. I put it up on my Facebook of the crumpled up Tito, but apparently the guy wasn't given the name and everything, so he's facing in Vegas, in Nevada, anything over $1,200 is a felony for
Wow.
theft. So he got that, and he also got it like some other charges for lying to the police about the name, like not giving a false name, and also he had a hoodie on and a mask, so it's
Okay.
committing a robbery while masked. So
Wow.
yeah,
I can't
no,
believe somebody
no.
would actually even try that. You know what I mean? That's just
Honestly, if I didn't chase him, he would have been out of the casino with $2,200, no question.
wow.
So all he had to do was hit a cash. All he had to do was reach a cash machine without me chasing him,
Hmm.
and he would have been out of that casino before they could have put a void on that ticket. So, those cash machines. Um, everybody's like, hey, there's no way he could have cashed that ticket. Um, I can tell you that those eyes in the sky, they're really good for having the video and everything. They had no clue what was happening until they had that guy in handcuffs. Like
Wow.
it wasn't like, they didn't have like a guy watching a screen saying, get down to, um, uh, you know, get down the hallway down there, whatever. It wasn't like that. It was, they caught the guy, and then they dealt with the video evidence after, like with the police. I did ask for that for my YouTube. They told me no. I asked for, I mean, I've never run so fast. I just wanted the footage of it all and to put it on my YouTube. But um, yeah, screwing up
Did
his
they
life.
give that to you?
What's that? No,
The
no, they
footage? No.
wouldn't actually. I actually asked also if I could at least get a video of him being put in the police car, and they told me no. They told me,
Oh,
um, and granted, if I was outside or whatever, I could have filmed whatever, but
yeah.
not even knowing where the police car was, I'm sure it was in a garage somewhere. Um, and also, they had me sitting there waiting for my Tito to come back, so I wasn't gonna be like, hey, let me go outside real quick and then I'll come back in. So, but no, they were like, no, we're not we can't have you, just, we can't have you filming him getting put in the police car.
Yeah. No, I get that.
I wish they did. I get it. I wish they did though.
Yeah. No, but that's
If it
crazy.
was that sheriff down in Arizona there, what was his name? Sheriff Maricopa
Paul.
or whatever, or
Yeah.
Maricopa County. Yeah. Sheriff Joe, whatever.
Yeah.
He would have been like, yep, he would, then if the guy put his head down, he would like raise it up and show it.
I'm sure it would. So NES, thank you so much, bro, for being on this. I hope we get together again soon.
We definitely will, and I know I didn't get to say hi to everybody, so I just want to say hi to the people that are here: Cindy A, Gamblin Granny, Gamblers Unknown, T-Town. You guys are all amazing. Slot Sister, Lucky Dog, Simon. We got Robert the Accountant. We got Melly Love Slots.
Slot MC
Warren,
365.
you guys are. Yep, Slot MC 365. I'm scrolling up. You guys are what keep this community going. Not, there's a lot of people here who don't even have channels, and it's the people that don't have channels are like so awesome in my book, because they support all of us. They support all the community. People that have channels like myself, it's so difficult to be in everybody's lives all the time, because I'm also live all the time. I'm live on the Scratcher. I'm live on the Slots. So it gets, but like these people that are just devoted to supporting me and supporting you and supporting the whole community. It's awesome. They're the backbone of the community.
You know what?
I love
agree.
meeting all of them too.
I agree 100% with you right there. I mean, it's so difficult to be on everybody's channels and watching everybody's videos and everybody's lives and all of that, and it's hard to do it, and it's time consuming. But you know what? This community is so supportive, and that's why this Monday morning coffee sort of came about. Is because you know what? We interact with all of these people every day, but I want them to know NES a little bit better. I want them to know me a little bit better. I consider you guys friends because we hang out together, even though it's virtual sometimes, but we hang out together all the time. We're talking together. We're doing things together. So I try new things with my channel, try and see what I could do to help support somebody else or whatnot. But the love that I get from this community is just amazing, because everybody supports everybody. And I've never been in a situation where people are trying to step over you to get to the top. Whereas this community is, hey, let me help pull you up. You could help pull me up, and it's all good.
Yeah. And one thing I saw earlier, and and I didn't touch on this at all, was Sister Yoshi was asking, that where I'm more, especially like on the Scratcher side, been in YouTube for a while, like any advice for new people. My biggest advice for new people is have fun. Don't worry about the monetization, because it's not going to change your life. Don't worry about, I have 21 people in my chat. I have 25 people in my chat. How come this person gets 200? How come this person gets, 1.5K when they go live? Have fun. If you have fun and don't worry about all those things, your channel will be so much better. And I say this, and I don't always heed my own advice in that aspect. Like sometimes I'm like, oh my God, I want 500 people. Like, why aren't there 500 people here? But, and I look at it like this, what I have on the Scratcher channel right now, I fluctuate, sometimes I have 350, I've had 400 in the lives. I'm happy if I have 200 people that are there every live, it's people showing support, but that's probably my biggest thing. Like, when I first started out, I wanted to be monetized. I wanted to, I was worried about my watch hours. I mean, I remember just counting my watch hours every day, and I don't do that with New England Slots, NES Slots, whatever. I don't do that. I look occasionally at my watch hours, but like when I was New England Scratcher, like every single day I was like, oh, and it
Yeah.
only took me 2 weeks to get it under New England Scratcher because I came from Facebook where I had a following already, and but now with the slots I'm seeing, it's not as easy as just telling everybody to subscribe and you get 1,000 and 4,000 watch hours. But I think on the Scratcher channel, and in 1 year, I think I had almost 200,000 watch hours. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's a little bit different, but the niche of the slot community, and same thing with scratchers, is it doesn't matter if it's who you are. All of the
Mm-hmm.
content is going to be unique, just random. We could sit at the same machine, put the same dollar amount, and we're going to get different outcomes
Right.
out every single time. So everybody has their own unique spin on everything. And if you have fun and you could show your personality, that's when you're going to grow.
Mm-hmm.
Just be yourself and
Absolutely.
have a good time with it, and just move on that way. But if you're
And not
trying to be
everybody's going
some
to like my personality.
exactly,
You know,
exactly.
not everybody's going to like your personality. Not everybody's going to like my personality. But you're not going to please everybody. You're just not.
Exactly. I think
Have fun.
exactly. I think an analogy for me is like if you're going to a party where you don't know anybody and you're
Mm-hmm.
there, and then after an hour or 2 hours into the party, you start meeting people, and other people start introducing you to other people, and so on and so forth. That's what YouTube is. I mean, once people start to get
Yeah,
to know
that's
you,
a
they
great
introduce you to
analogy.
more friends and stuff like that. And that's what we're doing right now. I mean, everybody's
Mm-hmm.
getting to know us and getting to know you, and we're getting to know them. So it's just like one big giant party that, as you start meeting more people like you, and not everybody's going to like you, and not everybody's going to watch your stuff, and not everybody's going to
Yeah.
enjoy your stuff. But the ones that do are really going to like it and stick around. The ones that don't are just going to fall off to the side. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. No. Definitely. That's it. It's you got to just play. I mean, you got to know your audience too, though. I mean, at the same time, be you, have fun, but know your audience. Like one other thing that I'll say real quick, and this is something that I tend to swear a lot. I don't swear on YouTube. I don't. Like on my Scratcher channel, I think maybe once. Slots maybe a couple times. But I mean, in real life, like I
Yeah.
do tend to swear a lot, and but I keep that in check, and I try to keep that in check. So it's not that I'm being fake; it's that I'm catering to what um I know. Like, I mean, I've watched so many different slot channels and everything, and I see comments, I read comments,
Mhm.
I analyze things. So and
What channel comes
some
to mind
people
when you're,
they have a whole following.
yeah, what channel comes to mind when you think of that?
Um,
Gambaholic Slot Queen?
no, actually, so I mean, she would fall in that category, but she has that following behind her
Yeah,
that love her for it.
exactly.
You know,
Oh, we lost the sound again. We lost the sound, buddy.
yeah,
There you go.
somebody tried calling.
Oh, okay.
But SD guy, they know their following. They
Exactly.
know their following, and they actually um, they have the following because of who they are. So it's okay to have that. but you have to know your following. You have to know what, if I go live and I just start swearing, I'm going to drop people. Because they're not used to that, and they're used to me from New England Scratcher not swearing.
Exactly.
I'm going to be more. There's no question about it. I'm going to be a lot more lively on the Slots channel. There's no question. I'm not saying that I'm going to swear and everything, but I'm going to be a lot more. No holding back. So.
Yeah, I get it. I just try and be myself. I mean, if I'm at a slot machine, drinking, smoking, doing whatever, I'm going to do that if I'm on camera, if I'm off camera.
Right.
But it's like you said in the beginning, it's just like dating. I'm not trying to be anything that I'm not. I'm just going to be myself, and that's it.
Right. Well, awesome.
So
well, I really appreciate you having me on. I really do. This has been a lot of fun.
Hey, I look
when I went to
forward
bed
to
when I went to bed at 5:45 a.m., and then woke up at 8.
Yeah, I appreciate you getting up early with us. I mean, yeah, I mean, I've enjoyed meeting you, and I look forward to hanging out with you more. Maybe we could hit one of those trips together, Oklahoma, or when you're out here at Yamabon. Definitely.
Oh, definitely for that. But yeah, no, I'll be in touch with you and say, hey, you want to go to Oklahoma?
There you go. Hey, I could put it together real quick. So
yeah,
just let me know.
That's good to know. Yeah. I already have I'm going to Vegas for New Year's Eve, and potentially maybe right after, like, come home 10 days later, go back out for my birthday, which is the 17th. So
oh wow!
I don't have that all nailed down, but
yours is the 17th. I think your birthday's the 17th. Slot Sisters the 20th. I think Chris from Chris and Lou Slots is right around that same time, either the 20th or 19th or something. So there might be another trip in Vegas for you right there.
Lori Luckbox is the 16th, and Melly Love is right there too. I think maybe the 15th or something like that. We all have the same birthdays.
Oh, there we go. We should have.
I know that they're all going to be out there, but well, I think they're all going out already. I think they already have their trip planned for their birthday. So, okay. But I'm either going to be in Vegas or Biloxi, Mississippi for that week. I'm not sure yet, but I have. Okay. So my parents live an hour away from Biloxi, so.
Very cool. Is there anything else you want to say to everybody before we end this?
No, I just thanks for all your support for both me and for RhinoMan. You guys are awesome. This is why we do it. Is for anybody watching. So, and if anybody has any questions for me, my email address that I do check daily is newenglandscratcher@gmail.com. If you have any channel questions or anything, that you might have a couple days that you can wait for, just because I'm so crazy busy. But if you have any questions that you just want to ask about, starting a channel or whatever, I'm always there, to help with that. So.
Very cool. Thank you, everybody. I really appreciate you guys taking the time to be with us, and we're going to end it there. Peace. You guys have a wonderful week, and we will see you next Monday. Next Monday's guest, we have the Lotto King. So that should be a fun one. I know it's one of Slot Sisters' faves there, so it should be a very good Monday morning coffee. Thanks again, NES. Really appreciate it, bro.
No, thank you. Have a great day, everybody.
You too. Bye-bye.